Billy West. And you, an idiot, if you're not watching Southern Comic Geek. You hear that, Stimpy? Yeah, I heard it. I'm a Northern Comic Geek.
What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a random mystery box. Well, mystery box unboxings, as well as some other good stuff. Hold on a second while I thought I had changed this to different camera. Ta-da! Different camera, less pixelated. What is going on? Just a little podcast. Rob Boswell, Spider-Girl69. What is up? What is up? So, yeah, we've got a random during the day. Yep. Random during the day live show. Opening a bunch of stuff, including, I believe, a huge key in here that I just randomly picked up off of Instagram. So we will see how things go. Appreciate those of you who have jumped in here. Also appreciate the list of YouTube channel and Patreon supporters, people that are supporting the channel through that monthly membership, whether on Patreon or YouTube or both in some cases. If you see a name you're not familiar with, go check them out. Most of them are content creators of their own. And if you are interested in getting in on one of those memberships or both, the links are in the description below. And of course, the links, the memberships, open something for you. Here you go. Talking about one of the membership benefits are our monthly giveaways. And this month is an ASM 25285 newsstand copy that's going to be given away to some lucky person. Now, the way you enter to win is to become a channel or Patreon or member or both. You get 10 entries per membership. And then for every $1 super chat, you get 1 entry to win. So we total all those up at the first of the next month, and we will be giving away that. And appreciate everybody for participating. Chip 3 Pops, what is going on? So there's that for you, Rob. It could be yours. Rob, a Patreon supporter of the channel. So I got a couple of mystery boxes that I want to show that I picked up. So I picked up a mystery box from Comic Book Poser. So Comic Book Poser, if you're not familiar with him, he's on YouTube and all that other kind of good stuff too. He is a channel supporter as well. And he did a post to where he said, hey, help me pay for my grails. And basically, so he had 6 mystery boxes and had 6 mystery boxes that he was selling for $150. And there you got either a CGC or CBCS slab, a trade paperback or small hardcover, 5 to 7 raw books, and secret goodies on top of your box. So there you go. That's what I got, and that's what I'm going to show first. But before we get to that, we've got Rob Boswell dropping the $5 super chat. Thank you, good sir, for making it rain in the right direction, getting 5 more entries into that deal. Diego, what is going on? So we're going to open up the Posers box. Now, I've already opened it, so I already know what's in here. So I'm going to show you all this right here. When he said the stuff on top of there, look at all this stuff that he threw on there. He threw a whole bunch of stickers other people had given him. You see Gorilla Tots sticker right there. I got these pins, which one of them is a Two-Face pin, so that's kind of cool. Las Cruces from New Mexico is up. And some stickers from his. It's just a whole bunch of stickers that he threw in there. So there is that. So I'm going to show you the first book. It's a graded book. It's one you will not see very often. Not because of rarity. It's just because. NFL Super Pro number 4 in a 9.6 plays the game of his life in the arena of death. Dun, dun, dun. So, yeah, that was the slab. So, yeah. I think Bearded Comic Bro, another supporter of the channel, says that every time he sees the NFL Super Pros, he picks them up. I would imagine he's not picking them up graded. The only real books of any significance in that run is number one, just because it's a number one, and you got a Spider-Man appearance in there. Maybe the controversial issue or the last issues. 22 of those. There you go. There you go. We all have our guilty pleasures, Rob. So mine is like Turok number ones or Bloodshot ones, but other people have their own guilty pleasures, and maybe yours is NFL Super Pro. And I say guilty pleasures is because we should feel guilty for paying as much as we pay to get the pleasure out of having those books. Just saying. This was the trade that he threw in, which was a Watchman graphic novel, which I've read the Watchmen before. As a matter of fact, I might have the exact same graphic novel. I would say I might have the same graphic novel. However, this thing has a Borders deal, and Borders has been closed for some number of years now. So I probably have a later printing, but it looks just like that. So let's get to the books. This is Something is Killing Those Daggum Children, issue number 11. This is the Jenny Frizen variant. So I've had this before, sold it. So I now have it again. Really nice. This one is Ice Cream Man, something or another. Oh, no, it's Ha Ha. Number 2. Talking about, see, Rob was kind of foreshadowing what was to come, but Ha Ha number 2. Then we got Prometheus. So not only did we get Alan Moore and Watchmen, but we got Prometheus from America's Best Comics. If you don't believe it, just look at their name. Know absolutely nothing about that. It says wildstorm.com on the side. So did Wildstorm own America's Best Comics too? Then we've got the TMNT something another, which is an homage to issue number 1. I have this comic, but I have it in the reddish hues that matches the original homage. This is the more colored version of that. And it is strictly a cover of buy at this point because TMNT has lost its way. But that is another rant for another day. And then we got Dead Rabbit, number 1. So if you're familiar with this book, this series, they had to rename it because something else was named Dead Rabbit. So I think the first 2 issues are Dead Rabbit. Anybody feel free to comment, whether in the chat if you're watching this live or in the comments below if you're watching this afterwards. But this they renamed it after like the first 2 issues for that reason, copyright infringements. Then we've got Spawn 311, the Chadwick Boseman homage, the black and white. Oh, Barr was named that. Okay, there you go. So the Chadwick Boseman homage, black and white, nice. And this is Batman, I want to say 50. This is the comicsketchart.com variant. Yeah, Batman 50. Clay Man on the art. All right. So that's what I got from Deadeye. I knew it was something they renamed it, but there are at least a little while those first couple of issues were sought after for that reason, since they had canceled it essentially. I also got some books from Squatchy Comics. So I know Rob, at least in here, is familiar with Squatchy, who's an artist in the community. I bought several of his mystery boxes. I've commissioned a piece from him when he did his Squatchy and Foo book. Yeah, wow. The Squatchy and Foo book. He did a deal where you could get a sketch cover on one of the blanks of that book, and you could just, do whatever you wanted to. I think Rob got a Walking Dead / ASM homage done on his. I've bought books from him before too. It was a TMNT Last Ronin one that he had already done. I picked it up from him afterward. He had done it. Now, so he had these. I think they were $150 as well. And these are the books that I got. I got one of the variants. This is the Walking Dead homage that has a bunch of the people in the community on there. I would imagine Mr. Boswell is in there somewhere. I think he is. Dang. So there is Stan. There is Barry Gary. And there's Bill Murray. Stevie B. And there is myself right there. Warlord is being held. So there's a list in here that shows who all is in here. And I've thought about sending my copy around to the community to get them to sign and autograph it. The book would be like $500 something by the time it gets through, just paying for shipping. Up front at the bottom in the UK hat. Oh, there you go. The biggest hand on the cover. So there you go. Rob Boswell here, folks. So he signed it, and he actually numbered this one. So I have had a couple of copies of this. I bought one directly from him. I bought some boxes from Foo. So there was one of these in there, and there is this one as well. I probably will sell this one and just keep the original one that I got. The Funko Brothers, what is going on? How are you? Thanks for stopping in today. Then we got Trailer Park Boys. Godzilla, Monsters, and Protectors, #2 from IDW Comic Books. Mothra! Department of Truth, #11. Got the Sasquatches on there. Swordmaster, #5. And which has a Doctor Strange appearance in there. And then we've got a Vampirella cosplay variant. Looks like it came out of the Comic Vantage boxes and says it's a 1 in 25. It's a 1 in 25 and says $20. That's what Comic Vantage said. Well, this will be showing up at a comic auction on this channel Saturdays at 1 p.m. Central Time near you. And then this is the one that he did. So this one is actually Vampirella. It is a double-sided cover. This is a glow-in-the-dark one, and this part glows in the dark. And then Vampirella is on the other side of this. And I know some people in the community that collect Vampirella. I do not. And I've already sold that book. So there you go. I think Squatchy still has some mystery boxes left over on Instagram. So go check him out if you want to see what, because every box comes with a various mystery variant that's already pre-done. But he also does commissions. So go check him out and see some of his art. Give an idea of what he can do. Oh, dang, lucky dog. I would have much rather have gotten that one than the NFL Super Pro. So anyway, so yeah, go check that out. And I think he's doing an additional GP prize winning once they sell out. So hurry up so I can see about getting my GP. All right. This is finally got my order in from Frankie's Comics. Frankie's Comics takes forever. I was at Dallas Fan Expo, and Frankie's Comics had a booth there. I was picking up a book for somebody else. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have fooled with them. And they had it there, and they didn't have it there that day. They were going to have it there the next day. And so I said, well, hey, what about picking – or they said, well, you can have it shipped to you. I said, no offense or anything, but y'all take forever. And he didn't say nothing, just kind of nodded his head. I didn't realize at the time it was the owner of Frankie's, but truth's the truth, regardless of who you are. And but they do take forever. So I had emailed them yesterday, and I knew that some of the problem was the fact that I had put some House of Slaughters in there, and then they got pushed back. But House of Slaughter 1 came out how many weeks ago now? So I emailed him and said, hey, what's going on? Yeah, it should go out Monday. And it did. Yeah. We've got Star Wars Insider number 204. This is the Frankie Comics exclusive, and it glows in the dark. So Yoda's little lightsaber here will glow in the dark. So it's pretty dope. Pretty dope. I need to see about getting a subscription to Star Wars Insider again, because I used to get it in the mail, and they've had a lot of cool stuff in there lately. Speaking of Star Wars, and we're talking about comic books, has anybody seen the announcement that Dark Horse Comics is going to be doing Star Wars comics again? I did not see whether or not that means Marvel's all the way out, or Dark Horse is going to be non-canon type stuff. Are they going to, stick a little stricter to things like the probably doing in the Marvel run? I don't know, but what do y'all think about that? Back in the day, obviously prior to Marvel, and Clone Wars, there was a lot of garbage too prior to Clone Wars, but just a lot of great art, great Star Wars stories. I think overall better than what we get in the Marvel today, but that's just what I think. Let me know in the chat what y'all think. This is what else I got. One of the other things I got from Frankie's. It's Ninjak number 1. This is a John Jang, #Jang Gang, right? But yeah, this is a John Jang exclusive cover over there. When I met John Jang in Dallas Fan Expo, it would have been nice if Frankie's had that for me. House of Slaughter number 1. I forgot, and the blank cover, I forgot that I had got that from Frankie's, and I picked up another one. Not that big of a problem to have, but then I picked up the House of Slaughter number 1 foil variant. So that is what I picked up from Frankie's. And from the Squanchster. Let's see what else I got here. I got these from Papa Wheelie, another one of the channel supporters. He routinely will go on auctions, typically Meta's auction, and sell. I just happened to be in there one night, and he was selling something that I was interested in. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this or I'm going to sell it, but I'll show you the book, the reason why I bought it from him. So Brightest Day number 0. And this Brightest Day story, Jeff Johns is writing, Peter Tomasi's writing. You got David Finch art on the cover. I mean, just great, some great pluses for it. Got Brightest Day number 1. Number 2. Just great Finch covers. Because I think at this time, a lot of these characters were dead. Speaking of number 3, this was the reason I had bought it. The main reason I bought it was number 4, which is the first appearance of the new Aquaman. And this has kind of got to be a hot speckety spec book that you can still get rather cheaply, and decided to pick that up for the main thing being that. Hawk World Revealed. Then we got number 6. Nice Martian Manhunter cover. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. And Brightest Day, the Atom one-shot special. So I don't think Finch did those. Somebody else did those. Jeff Lemire wrote it, though. And John Dale, who's an inker, who's inked a bunch of stuff, is on the inks. But So yeah, pretty cool, pretty dope. Now, here is another awesome pickup. I got this from Robert Burke, who goes by Schnick, as in the sound that Wolverine's claws make. He was selling, I think, on Meta's channel. I think that's the only place he probably does sell. And a lot of times on these auctions, although I'm usually in there just watching the books, a lot of times on these auctions, the books that show up, what's going on? Scott, Hoarder's Hive, what is going on? But yeah, a lot of times on these auctions, it's like, stuff I don't really want. It's the spec of the week or stuff I already have. So I'm really not trying to buy anything. And how he packaged this is anybody's guess. But when he showed this was a very unique piece. So I'm going to show this one off for sure. And it seems like I bought another book from him at the same time. A very weird way of packing. Folks, it doesn't take very long to put on pull tabs. Why would you put it like this? Hopefully everybody's doing good on this Thursday afternoon if you're watching this live, or at whatever time you're watching it later. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, he had this book up for auction. One other person was bidding against me, and I guess I just outlasted him. So when I had that one book, he showed this other book, and I was like, we went back and forth in the DMs. And finally decided to come up and go ahead and pay for it. I'm like, all right. It's funny how we're willing to go ahead and pay $300, $400, $500 more worth of stuff. Oh yeah, well, I'll save on shipping. Okay. It's kind of like your spouse comes to you and says, well, hey, I saved all this money. You didn't save any money. You spent money. But yeah, I had a coupon, so I saved money. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. This is taped. Oh my goodness. Robert. This is not how you package books. Why would you put packing tape? Anyway. All right, so here's the book here. Second appearance of the Rocket Raccoon. This is one of two books that I needed to essentially complete Incredible Hulk 200 forward. The other one's the first appearance of the UFOs. I have a video dropping Friday of some Walmart packs, and then I have another one that'll probably drop Sunday that I've already pre-recorded. But what's going on, Barbarian Kung Fu? Big Will says, I have arrived. Big Will's got an auction coming up here pretty soon. You want to drop some stuff about that in the chat, Big Will? Or that was a question. Sounded more like a statement. So this is the second appearance of Rocket Raccoon, first appearance in comics. And there's some other first appearances in here as well, but that's the main one. And the reason why this book is a little pricier than the other ones that are in that sequential run. So I was able to pick that up at a reasonable price. Now, this is something that I'm going to ask you in the chat. Tell me, what is the significance about Scat Comics Magazine, the Valley Comics Gazette? What is significant about Scat Comics? I'll let y'all comment while I take an awkward sip of coffee. Pocan Joe. There we go. See if anybody. So it's not even a full comic. It's like one of these. They call it the quarter ads or nickel pages or something like that, where they sell ads. So here you come to get a history lesson. So this is from May of 1979. So and I'm going to give you a hint of what the big deal about. Not in particular this particular issue, but the magazine in particular. And because of the quality of the paper and stuff, but someone who did something at some point, yeah, it's probably a safe bet, right? I'm going to give you a hint as to what the significance is related to. When you look at this one right here, see Worm, pages 10 through 12 by, you see that guy's name? Peter Laird. Toby G, what is going on? Joining us from Twitch. Appreciate that. Do I have any Spider-Mans? Yeah, I got plenty of Spider-Mans. Check out that, Toby G. That's this month's giveaway. So it is early work by Peter Laird, and it was Scat Comics that Kevin Eastman picked up and read through, and he says, hey, I'm going to take my art to the Scat Comics and see if I can get a job drawing there. So they go to Scat. He goes to Scat Comics with his portfolio. They say, look, we're kind of getting out of this business. If you look in there, there's ads for the local jewelry store and stuff like that. They're making more money on ads. So they decided they want to kind of go that route. They don't really need them anymore. And they said, but look, there's this guy whose art is very similar to yours that you should hook up with. That's how Kevin Eastman met Peter Laird, was picking up a Scat comic, if you want to call it that, Scat, the Valley Comics Gazette. And he calls Peter Laird up, and the rest, as they say, is history, because they got to talking about their art and things that they wanted to do, talking about how both of them are big Jack Kirby fans. And yeah, so a few years later after that, they're sitting there bebopping around the room. Look at that. You see what I did there? Bebop. Around the room, and they draw this crazy thing called a Ninja Turtle. They make it a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And there you go. So yeah, it's early Peter Laird art in here, and the Scat comic in general is how Kevin Eastman met Peter Laird. yeah. If you see some of their stuff, yeah, you're right about that. So imagine my surprise when one shows up on a YouTube auction where you're usually seeing the latest Venom or Thor. So I'm like, okay, this has got my attention. This is the weird stuff here, folks. Weird stuff. All right. Now, this I got from Edwin Price. Mr. Edwin Price also sells on the YouTube. Generally, he does not. He's sold on Strictly's. He's never sold on mine. I think he's sold on Tricky Tractors. Yeah, we love the weird. And the reason why I bought these, because I already have them. The reason I bought these copies is one of those other little niche parts of collectors these days. So I did pick up a huge Batman key on eBay last night. Went ahead and bit the bullet and bought it. One I should have bought 2 years ago. Nevertheless, I bought it now, and it should be on its way to me shortly. And can't wait to unbox that one. Definitely a huge key. got several Batmans coming, so I'm very close to having 150 forward. And you know, I don't know if I've stopped there or not, but this one is prior to 150. But it's a cool key. Yeah, might pick up on what it is there. But these particular Batman is not that I don't already have the issues. It's the what makes them different. You know, how some people collect newsstands as opposed to direct, or both the newsstands and the direct. Everybody has their own little nuances. I don't always pick up these for everything. They are neat. Matter of fact, there you go. There you go. Matter of fact, I was down at one of Barbarian's honey holes, Dave's comics, not the main one, the other one that has the gaming stuff there, and was digging through those long boxes and found tons. I probably found 20 or 30 of these in there. Didn't realize it, because typically when I sell those books that I get like that, I sell them cheap. So it's like, okay, what condition they're in? Oh, they're in $2-3 condition. Okay. So we put them on the board. I don't even pull them out of the bag. Just happen to notice something. Easy. Yeah, I'm telling your trade secrets, man. I'm telling your trade secrets. So normally I wouldn't even know. Sometimes I've accidentally sold stuff, I'm sure. So it always pays to open your comics. This is the reason why that I wanted to get this. It's a Mark Jewelers. So this is Batman 327. It's a Joe Kubert cover, and it's a Mark Jewelers. Mark Jewelers quit doing, or DC quit doing Mark Jewelers inserts before Marvel did. So it's, I sold in that same batch I was just telling you about, an Uncanny X-Men 260, 265. It's like the issue before, yeah, must have been the issue before Gambit's first appearance. It was a Mark Jewelers. So as late as the early 90s, Mark Jewelers was still doing inserts in Marvel. They had long quit doing it in the other ones. And until Edwin showed me these, I bought another one and opened it on a different video. And then lo and behold, he finds a couple more. But I had never even seen up to that point a DC comic that was a Mark Jewelers. So that is Batman 327. And with the Joe Kubert cover, and then this is Batman 337 with the Aparo cover, Jim Aparo cover, classic Batman, and it too is a Mark Jewelers. So that is pretty dope. I now have 3 DC Mark Jewelers in my collection. They're all Batmans. But yeah, it's just not something you run across. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. I don't know if I might go ahead and sell the other copies I have. Because there's really no need for me to have a Mark Jewelers and just a regular one in there. Because I'm sure the other ones, because these are from the early 80s, I'm sure the other ones are newsstands. Oh, yeah. And it's because, it's because they printed them later. I have a Turok, a gold key Turok. That's a Mark Jewelers. So you really don't see those very often. All right. So there is that. This is, I believe, so don't hold it against me if it ain't, but I think it is. Because this box, appreciate the 10 of you that are watching. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, bell notification, all that kind of good stuff. If this is the book I think it is, this is a huge key. One would believe that it is the book I think it is, based on the amount of packing. Dang, I need to save that bubble wrap. Is this it? Is this it? It is. Yeah, yeah, and there I've seen some like that. I don't know if they consider those Mark Jillers, but yeah. Um, Now this is a huge key right here, folks. I've seen this. I've kind of just been wanting to pick one of my 7 Turok ones. Hey, there you go. I think I've got 20 something, 26, 27 Turok number ones. That's just the regular ones. I have the validated signature one, and I also have 2 gold copies. So yeah, what is going on? Mark from Legion of Comics showed this off earlier. I'll show it again so you can bask in its goodness. Where did? Oh, there it is. Some Jane Gang goodness right there. How about that? How about that? Little Valiant Love, the cover collector. What is going on? Lunch break live. There you go. There you go. Hey, so Barbarian talking about Dave's. I walked out of Dave's. I walked out of Dave's and I bought a book and I took a picture of it and I posted it on Instagram and I was like, look what I found. And I tagged the cover collector in it. And he messages me and he says, "You're gonna sell me that book, right?" But I sold him mine that I had gotten somewhere else because it was in better shape than the one I picked up from Dave's. So I kept the one from Dave's. Wildcats 25 newsstand copy, not one you run across that often. But anyways, this is the huge key. So I've been kind of wanting this key, mulling it over, what do you do? And just kind of in the back of your mind, soft collecting, as I like to say. And deal came up. And this one, based on the pictures, and now that I see it in person, I think the same thing. This is one of before I'm headed that way. Yeah, because I guess the last time I was there, like, hey, I'm in town today. You want to come over here? It's like, thanks for the warning, man. So we've got the Invincible Iron Man 55. And if you know, you know. That's right. If you know, you know. This has got several first appearances in here. And this is first appearance of Thanos, Drax, Star Fox, Mentor, and the Blood Brothers. Everybody forgets about the Blood Brothers. But 20 cent goodness, 1973, cover by Jim Starlin. And I want to get this signed by Jim Starlin. And on top of that, this is an old CBCS case, so I'm not a fan. And I don't know if my camera is going to pick it up really good, but right up here in the corner, you can kind of see a bend. And that bend is not color breaking. And I feel like a good presser, and all of us in the community know multiple good pressers, right? I think a good presser can press that out and get half a grade bump or better on this. So if I can get, a 3 for like that, new case, signed by Starlin and pressed and a grade bump, that'd be a 4 for, wouldn't it? What is going on? J Hood J Hood Creative, what is going on? How are you? Boom. As if it were meant to be, because I'm in no hurry. I'm in no hurry. As a matter of fact, it gives me plenty of time, right? Because I can get it pressed. Legion dropping that channel sponsorship name there, Justin Comics. But yeah, so I can get it pressed and get it back, but I don't want to do it too early because the pressing effects will kind of go away, or the benefits from it. But yeah, so if y'all didn't know, 2 of the headliners, Jim Starlin was supposed to have been there in 2020, and we all know what happened, and he wasn't able to show up in 2021. but he's supposed to be back next year, and Kevin Eastman's going to be there. So I'm not going to crack my TMNT 1 because I'm too scared that it won't come back in 9.6 again. So I'm sure I'm going to find something, maybe like a sketch cover. Probably more inclined to get a sketch cover because I've got several Eastman signatures. So I'm probably more inclined to get a sketch cover from him. And then I get this signed by Jim Starlin. Trying to think if there's anything else I need signed by Starlin, because I've met Starlin before and got him to sign my Infinity Gauntlet, the wearable one, the Infinity Gauntlet issue number 1 and that type of thing. So I don't know, but yeah, 2022 Huntsville, the place to be. Do you remember the dates on that, Big Wheel? Because I don't off the top of my head. Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, and last year I know CBCS actually had CBCS employees. Matter of fact, the husband and wife that are there, if you email customer service, you're going to hear back from Daryl, and that's who was there. And so when they go themselves. But they were there. It wasn't a facilitator. Now, the year before that, they had a guy that was there. He owns a comic shop up that way, actually in Florence, Alabama. Big Will and I can attest that the guy was very slow in his submissions, and then CBCS getting backed up didn't help any at all. After the April 20th, and the CBCS is coming again. So there you go. There you go. Legion of Comics, I know, has a sponsorship via Justin Comics that he might want to drop in the chat. Let everybody know. He is obviously got the blue wrench of power, but with great power comes great responsibility, and responsibility to let people know who Justin Comics is if they are not familiar. Hey, appreciate it dropping in. Appreciate it. Barbarian, when you coming back to the YouTube, man? When you gonna get back in the auction game? I see you've been doing the auction thing on Instagram, but you know, it's different. All right. So some huge books. As you can tell, you got Invincible Iron Man 55. First appearance of you got Thanos' dad and his brother, Star Fox. Hialeah Comic Bro, what is going on down in the sunny state, Florida? But and then of course Drax, the Drax that the OG Drax, not the Drax that everybody knows from the movies, and the Blood Brothers, not to be forgotten, right? So huge book right here with great bump potential. Picked it up off of Instagrails. So Instagrails, they're like Elite Comics. They do consignments for people. So typically people that have like big books, but maybe not have the following that Instagrails or Elite Comics that I mentioned have. And they take a little cut off the price, still come out better, and usually easier transaction than, say, eBay. Also picked up a Scat comic, so early Peter Laird work, and of course Scat being what would introduce Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman to each other. Picked up this a couple of DC Mark Jewelers, solid graphic number 1. Hello, I do graphic design, so overlays, etc. Well, there you go. Well, thanks for joining us over on Twitch, Solid Graphic. Be sure to follow me there on Twitch, so when I go live, you won't miss it. Incredible Hulk 271, first appearance of Rocket Raccoon in comics. Al Milgram was actually at Nashville Comic Con. I did not get to go to that, so it wouldn't have mattered if I had it or not. But so that was a huge book to get. And NFL Super Pro said nobody ever. Said nobody ever. Said nobody ever. That is Well, one of the things I got in the poser's box is a Spawn bookmark for you from issue 51 of LNC. Whatever that is. So, Big Will says, okay, I checked April the 22nd through the 24th. All 3 days tickets are currently only $45. That is a deal. I would imagine, barring COVID or whatever, and Huntsville was the biggest con that I went to the year or last year. So they had it despite COVID. Had it later, and it was obviously scaled back and all that kind of stuff, but do a really good job. So if you are in driving distance of Nashville, anywhere in Alabama or Mississippi, Georgia, it's worth the drive. And Jim Starlin and Kevin Eastman, and I'm sure they're going to have another slew load of people. They had Michael Golden last year. Chris Claremont the year before that. I'd be surprised if Claremont's not there this year, just because he wasn't, or this coming year because he wasn't this year. So I think he tries to do like every other year. But definitely a place to be. Two Brothers Comics and Death Metal, Big Will, myself, Comic Food, Lady Fantastic, Shortbox Padawan, Georgia Comic Book Guy, a whole bunch of people that are on YouTube were there this year, and that was cool. And imagine it's going to be bigger next year. It'd be nice to be able to have like one night that all the content creators. I know Barbarian Kung Fu lives in Atlanta, so he's not that hard either. I think he had to work or something, the reason why he couldn't come to this one. Should get a table and bring dollar books. It's $3.50 for a table and comes with the tickets. So does it come with like just the one set of ticket? I'm gonna drop the StreamYard link in here. Big Will, if you want to jump on, then jump on. But because like if it's like a family thing, because it'd be nice because you'd be able to sell a lot there, and fairly fast. The only problem is then it becomes work. But Big Will, if for instance, here he comes. Then it becomes work. But
there we go.
What's going on, man?
Not much. Let me get this thing adjusted here. Yeah, it comes with 2 all weekend passes, and of course they'd be vendor passes, so they get you in early and stuff like that, and you can set up and all. Have access to all the deals that go down before the show even opens,
Yeah, I'll do a little horse trading behind the scenes.
I thought I might do that myself, but I didn't have anyone to do it with me that I thought of. And of course, I thought of it a few months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't think that's too much.
No, not really.
Some dollar books or $2 book, and some long boxes. I've got long boxes I could bring. It sounds like a good deal.
It does, and especially for the traffic, because if this year was any indication of what's generally the case there, then I imagine next year's going to be bigger. And you would, to me, I would need to bring a couple of big books just to pay for the booth, sell those and pay for the booth, and then making money on all the $2 books you're going to sell.
But you know what you should do is you and Barbarian should go together. Each of you need to do like, what is it, 150 or 200 or something like that, 175 each.
175, yeah.
And then sell them books, man. And you got plenty of people like me that help out.
Yeah, buy them deep, sell them cheap. I did, Papa Willie. I showed it earlier, my friend. What is going on? Yeah, I showed it earlier. What's going on, dude? How are you? You got a box head your way. Hopefully, it'll get there safe. Hey, so dude, he's actually from Georgia. Um, I'm not sure geographically what side of Georgia, but we're talking about the Huntsville Comic Expo next year, which headlining Jim Starlin and Kevin Eastman promises
Right
to be really
now.
good.
The headlining right now.
Yeah, I imagine again, barring whatever, that we're going to see more stability when it comes to these cons. They're going to settle into where they want to be as far as timelines, because that's what happened this year. There was still a lot of uncertainty at the first of the year, and so they were pushing them off, which caused this domino effect of people having to cancel because, hey, I need to go to this con because I'm committed here.
I think the past will let us know that if anyone cancels, it'll be those people themselves, not the convention, because we had it in 2019, we had it in 2020, we had it in 2021. I don't think there's anything that can happen save a nuclear bomb in Huntsville that will keep the expo from happening in 2022.
Yeah, it would definitely be the creators themselves.
Oh, he's down around Dothan.
Oh, okay, so yeah, okay, he's on the other side of the state. But hey, look, man, Huntsville's a 4.5, 5 hour drive for me. So
yeah, but get you a room there at the hotel. It connects.
So let me show this right here. Yeah, that and if just word of experience there, book early if you're going to do the hotel, because last year I waited till later and it was way more expensive than it was the previous year.
Mm-hmm. I always try and tell people do it as soon as you can.
Yeah, as soon as you
tickets and for your hotel. That way you get it early. Like, I'm going to Heroes Con with my buddy Mike in June. I think it's in June. Might be July, but in June. And we already got our hotel booked.
Oh, yeah.
And tickets bought.
Well, there you go. Drew Manchu, what's going on, sir? How are you? See what I did there? We got dude dropping the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, good sir, for making it rain in the right direction. There you go. All right, so this is the Huntsville Comic Expo here, and it is got Kevin Eastman, Jim Starlin, Luke Ferrigno, Rob Paulson, rather, who did Pinky from Pinky and the Brain.
He did basically every 90s animated voice that you love.
He was supposed to have been there in 2019.
Yeah. Well, so, anyway, he did half of them, and the guy right there, Billy West, did the others.
So Billy West did Ren and Stimpy and Doug and a bunch of other stuff. You're right.
Fry from Futurama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they put Dustin Rhodes, but that's Dusty Rhodes.
People might not recognize him in his official name, right?
Yeah, but I don't
recognize these other folks. But
I don't know all the film and television as much, but I know Jessie Graff. She did that American Ninja thing and was she was like the trainer in the Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, okay. But yeah, definitely these two right here.
Yeah,
even
sure
these four. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course everyone knows who Eric Estrada is.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you won't care. I think it means, is it Dustin from Two Brothers?
What I hear. Oh, I got you. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I've heard Heroes Con is great too. That's the one in the Carolinas, right?
Yeah, it's in Charlton.
But Yeah, I thought about going to that one. Who all's going to be at that one next year?
They haven't released a single name as far as I know, but Neil Adams is there almost every year. They have Jim Steranko a lot, and a lot of the bigger names are there. It's one of the bigger true comic conventions, from what I hear. So
Yeah,
I'm not worried. There'll be someone there that I like. I know.
but you usually, if you're getting some books signed, you're just going to turn around and flip them. So
Yeah. Well, it's still nice to meet some of these guys. Like
yeah,
Jim Starlin would be cool. I mean, he basically created all of the, him and Jack Kirby together created all of the off-world Marvel universe pretty much.
yeah. The interesting thing about Starlin, I mean, he was a fairly nice guy, and I had heard that he can be a whatever. But I mean, when I met him, he was super nice, posed with the Infinity Gauntlet on and everything. So, but Heroes and Baltimore are book cons, so there you go. And yeah, those are nice. Not having to go through all the cosplayers and all that other kind of
Well,
stuff.
I imagine there'll be a little bit of all that there, but for the most part,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
expect books.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they've I haven't even bothered looking, but let's see, guest list. Do they have anyone listed? No. They don't have anyone listed right now, I don't think. Well, actually, yeah, they do. They have a few people listed. Let's see, we got Wayne Van Zant, Brian Stelfreeze, Joe Staten, he's great, Ron Salas, Steve Safel, Greg Rosau or Rosu, Don Rosa, Bob McLeod, Carl Moline, Stuart Immonen, Catherine Immonen. Larry Hama will be there.
Hmm.
That's a good one. He did a lot of Wolverine and G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
He is G.I. Joe, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Ron Friends, Todd DeZago. Hey, Tom DeFalco will be there, and John Beatty. And Chris Bacalo.
Oh, yeah. Bacalo, he's the one that did Generation X.
Yeah.
So, well, that's some good ones. Bob McLeod's a nice guy to me.
Yeah. And then DeFalco and Hama are like, you don't hear their name often, but they're like a big backbone of a lot of Marvel stuff. Then Beatty is great. And Joe Staten is awesome, but he's more of the DC than he is Marvel. Then, of course, I recognize some of the other names too.
Yeah, John Beatty. Well, he's Beatty's largely an inker, so a lot of times inkers can get overlooked or whatever for their contribution to everything. But yeah,
the fun thing is that this list, that's like maybe a fifth of what the total list will probably be when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and that's just what Jay Hood just said too. So when's the dates on that again?
The dates, I never said. The dates, it is June 24th through the 26th. And this year is going to be a good celebration because it's the 40th anniversary of the con.
And it seems like they canceled it this year, and they were doing some like real scale.
They canceled it in 2020. They canceled Heroes Con for 2021, but they did a little mini con. So they still did that. But yeah, this is since 2 years. This will be the first one they've had back. So I'm really excited for it. And I'm also excited because this will be the first time ever in my life I've stayed in a Hilton hotel. we decided to go big or go home on this one, so we already booked the hotel, man.
Wow. Well, I tell you, they sleep just like just about every other one. So
yeah, I figured, but at least I get to say I have been in a Hilton.
Yeah. Well, so when's your auction coming up?
It'll be on the 28th at 7 Eastern. And I already have my preview video up, and here over this weekend and all next week, you'll be getting IG and YouTube reminders. But yeah, if anyone's interested in coming to that, I have my preview video up. It shows literally everything that'll be auctioned off, and it'll also show everything in the exact order that it'll be on the auction. So you can drop in at any time and know exactly where we're at.
So are you taking like offers for stuff prior to the sale, or you just
no,
okay.
But if someone wanted to hit me up, if it doesn't sell, I could always, entertain that if it doesn't sell.
So yeah, and I'm trying to remember. It was one book that you showed, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. I say, I don't know. I wonder if you'd sell it before the auction. Tony Fett, what's going on? Mr. Signature Guy. We were just talking about getting a bunch of signatures, and this guy right here is going to attempt to beat me with Shazam tonight over on Mr. Comics 89's channel. And yeah, I mean, he's going up against the Juggernaut. Just saying.
Like literally, you're breaking out X-Men 12?
No. Not literally. Okay. As a matter of fact, I sold my X-Men 12, so I don't have it to bring it out anymore.
I wish I knew you were selling it. I got a buddy that really wants one.
Yeah, I sold it. I mean, I sold it for 3 times what I paid for it, but still, it was cheap comparatively to what they're selling for. It was only a 3.0, but the reds on that were really deep, and
it doesn't matter, man. He had a 4.5, and then he sold it. I told him, "You love that book. I wouldn't sell it," but he said he needed money, and he sold it for like $500, I think, which was a profit. But that same grade now fetched near $1,000.
Oh yeah.
That's a different big wheel, and that's a different kind of offer, and you know that, Bob.
Well. So I know that there are some Marvel folks in the chat, and Juggernaut it's obvious, would win against Shazam. And what
you're doing Mr. Comics 89 thing.
I am. Well, what's funny about that is that somebody else was supposed to, and then something happened with them, and he's like, "Hey, could you come on and do this?" I was like, "Yeah." Well, then Tony was on the show Sunday night, and I had gone against Tim, the comic collector, last time. And so then now I'm going against Tony, and they're like, "Man, has he got a thing against us or something?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But yeah, actually, and talking about that, I bought 30. What is 51 minus 8? That's 43. I bought 43 mystery boxes from Comic Fu.
Okay.
So I have a large chance of getting the chase books in that run.
Oh, okay.
And so the other thing that made sense for me, because I was going to be in Nashville this coming week, and I'm just going to meet him and pick him up, so I don't have to pay shipping for all that.
Well, that's good. I should have won when I was on that show with my character. I think we were the first or second people to go up. But yeah, that's about what it sounds like, isn't it, bro? But yeah, man, I should have won on that one. WandaVision had just happened. Everyone was all hyped up about a Scarlet Witch, and I think that's probably what did me in is the hype. But everyone knows Molecule Man would wipe the floor with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, and really, to be fair, on stuff that I've won and stuff I've lost, either way, is that most of the time it's a popularity contest. Not that you're more popular than somebody else. It's who got the most, because he'll send out that link to vote ahead of time. Vote early, vote often, just like every Democrat and Al Capone like. Vote early, vote often. And, so depending on how many, people you got out there to vote for you as to how well you do. And so it's really not as much about the argument that you make.
Yeah, I know. Well, he can't do like comic gories. He can't have it all done during the show because I don't know if you've noticed, but it's like less than 10 people are actually watching the live.
Exactly. So now
he has to do it that way.
And so, so he started doing it that way. Now, he tried that where it was just like the night of. And then when it would happen, you would have 5 votes, right? And then, it was always a close tie. So he just started sending it out early. Squatchy Comics, what is going on? I showed off your stuff earlier, my friend. How are you? Yeah, and Tony was talking about signatures. Myself, Tony, I like signatures also. Placement is a lot of it, but I like to get the signatures. I cannot lie. And if Tony's still in the chat, this is the series that y'all need to be talking about if y'all hadn't already done it. What's y'all show called? The DC Boys or something? I don't know.
I don't know if I'd go with that name.
Well, I mean, they like DC. They all like DC, and so that's what they talk about.
Okay.
Have no fear, Big Lion Cat is here. Well, just in honor of Big Lion Cat.
Let me know when you're ready. A Sword of Omens tells me that you're watching Southern Comic Geek. Thundercats. Ho!
Yeah, that's for you there, BLC. The Retro Boy. Yeah. Just broke 400. Nice. So,
hey,
what I'm saying, Brightest Day. Y'all need to do a thing on Brightest Day if you haven't already. That's a good series, or was a good series. And broke over 400. Let me see how many books I got signed in here. Oh, just not the spinoffs. Gotcha. Where did I go? So do you have CLZ, Big Will, or no?
No, I don't need it.
Well, that's right, because your collection is so concise. So.
Yeah, my collection is like 20 books.
Right.
I don't need CLZ.
So, with CLZ, they had Go Collect values.
And then that deal went away.
Yep. So I'm wondering if they're going to pull in GPA or cover price or something like that at some point.
I don't think they should have values. I think that should be what it's always been, and just a good app for, knowing what you got and all, and then go to something else where all they do is, the prices.
Well, the reason why I like the values in there, obviously it's largely subjective unless you actually have physically, in Go Collect's case, physically collected books. I mean, physically collected, slabbed and everything. They're already slabbed. But it's for insurance purposes because, to get a good idea of what you actually need to value your collection at.
Yeah.
Is my thing. I mean, when you got over 10,000 comics, and to include
$1 a piece
ones and Batman 5 and all that kind of stuff, you need something. So Tony definitely has me beat on that. I have 250 signed comics because I keep up with it in my CLZ. Of those, some of those are multiple signed books, but 250 signed comics. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Bub. Same thing. So what did Papa Williams say? I gave you issue 0 cut. Didn't show it during the auction. Rookie. Oh, okay. Well, see, and you were just talking about those. I just had them right there, Papa Willie, and that's why I was able to throw up there. Oh man, what is up? Yeah. So did you just get a whole bunch of books back from CBCS? Or
no? I picked up a few books, not that recently anymore, but most of them I was planning on selling, but some of them, because of their grade, I decided to hold on. Like this one, I thought about selling, but I'm also thinking of just holding on to it for a little while. It's entry level,
Yeah,
being the 1.8 that it is. But yeah, First Molecule, man, number 20 should be good.
Yeah,
and it's not condition wise. It's actually not a 1.8. It's a little higher. But look at the back.
What's wrong with the back? Why is it smeared like that?
That's a pin.
Oh, I see it now.
Some kid did all of that with pen, and it hadn't been pressed because I can tell because the pin indentions on the thing, but that's where the 1.8 comes from. It's the pin mark. It's not necessarily the condition itself. It's probably like a 2.5 or a 2.0 with a condition other than the pin ink brings it down a little bit. But,
yeah, because I was looking at the front of it. When you said 1.8, I just assumed maybe the cover was detached, and that's why it got that.
No, it's because of that pin mark on the back. But because you can see that, for a 1.8, that looks pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is that a 1.8? And it hadn't been pressed or anything. Why is that a 1 point? That's why it's a 1 point.
Some kid needs to be hung at high noon.
Yeah, but still, I think I might can get something out of it. I'm waiting for the value to rise a little bit. I would love to get $120 out of it. But for now, though, I'm having to wait till it gets to where it's worth $120. Right.
So I recently purchased the Giant Size X-Men #1 just for the purposes of holding on to it for till something gets announced, just so it'll pop, because I have mine for the PC, but I bought another one just for that. Magic Lasso up in the house. Appreciate you, good sir. Station. How are you? Big Herm. So let me ask you something about CBCS.
Okay.
So something about CBCS. So, as you know, because you were on the channel when I ranted on CGC and did away, I'm sure you're familiar with CGC making the announcement the other day.
Yes, I'm thinking about doing a video on it.
So do you not want to talk about it, or do you?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
This is your video, not mine.
So with that, CGC did an announcement the other day. I don't really buy it. I think that they worded it in such a way that to make people say, "Hey, we're good. We're still open for business," because I feel like they're feeling some of the pinch of CBCS taking their business.
The way it was worded, all they did was get everything open and logged in. Nothing else was changed according to what they said. That's all they did, which makes me think, it is kind of funny. I picture in my mind this guy. It's like almost 5 o'clock on one day. He gets the thing open. He hurries and logs it in. It's like, done. Woo! And, CGC does that out. And then the next day, here comes a load of packages and they're behind again.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So Yeah, they don't pick up their mail that day.
Yeah.
And
Or because of that announcement, a lot of people that don't read it all the way through are like, hey, they're fast now. And then everything gets sent and then they're just behind again.
which I have heard that I have heard that the Modern, that they had been playing with doing a different kind of deal with Modern, and that some people were getting their Moderns back like super quick. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but
Well, I can confirm. They said they were working on a new expedited thing, and they tried it with some random people. And JB Discovery Bay was one of those random people. It arrived, and then the next day was shipped out, basically. But the problem with that is that what they should have done is done that with the people who had the oldest books that had yet to be started in the system.
right.
Because that's just going to piss people off doing it the way they did. And guess what? It made people mad.
and yeah, going back to the announcement, I think that was as much about it as anything. Hey, we're still open for business. Don't slow down your roll. Please continue to send books, because I wonder how much of a pinch that CBCS is putting on them. But having said that, I have more than given CBCS a fair shake because I wanted them to succeed. Need to get a call from his proctologist. That might be something. Anyway, so I've been more than fair to CBCS, looking for a viable alternative to CGC. As many problems as CGC has, when I call their phone number, I can get somebody who speaks English on there.
Big deal. That's a big deal.
I mean, it's not a big deal until you need it, right? But how often are we needing it these days?
Yeah, a lot.
And so I had a submission that was shipped and received by them in August. No, hold on. Let me make sure I'm telling everybody right here.
Oh, sweet Lord in heaven.
Uh-oh.
I just got on and checked their turnaround times. Guess what I'm going to be doing here soon?
What's that?
Turnaround time update video volume 4. Because they have gotten longer.
Surprise! So they received my box in August of this year. All right.
Yeah.
It didn't get opened until October.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. I sent in an order, and in the order was 2-day modern submission and a regular expanded, expanded submission, which is they're older than 75 books. And the 2-day modern one got put in the system, started, shipped back out to me within a week. I was amazed.
Right.
As of today, and that's well over 18 days ago, it still says received or submitted, but not processing on the order that was in the same box. It just got put in with the pile of the rest, and at some point when they get to it, it'll get logged in and all that.
Yeah. So they so it didn't get open until October.
Yeah.
But the lady tells me that, hey, when you
say lady tells you, clarify, do you mean some lady in India, or are you talking through email?
So I met the same lady that was at the Huntsville Comic Expo is Daryl's wife. So the head of customer service, his wife, and she said, when you see a turnaround time, if we say that it's going to be 6 months as an example, we're going from the time it actually got to us, not from the time we opened it. So I didn't really understand how she could do that, but that's what she said. And so, okay, well, I still haven't seen anything on it. Well, while I was there in Dallas at the Fan Expo, I submitted a book it was NYX3.
Great book. Looking for it.
First appearance of in comics of X-23, signed 4 times. So it was 4 times signed. I didn't want to take the risk and then it run longer by having it pressed to see if I could get a better grade or regraded. It was in one of those old holders that had the pink label. I wanted a new label for it. So they told me, they said, look, it doesn't take very long at all to do these. Obviously, we're not having to, we're just taking it and whatever. And they're taking it from me right there. I'm not.
Yeah, you're in Dallas. They literally, it should be there within the next 2 days at the facility.
Well, yeah, I went to the facility, but they won't let you walk in no more and drop stuff off. But they were at the Fan Expo, and so they had my book. Well, when I was filling out the order form, I asked them, well, don't you need my member number or something like that? That way I can view any progress or lack thereof online. Oh, no, yeah, they'll pick it up via your email. So nowhere on this form is there any way for me to reference this book. There's no way for me to reference this book except that, hey, I've got this form. So I gave it to somebody. There's no number that, you see on these things or anything like that. So when I call Rafinki in India, what I get? Oh, I don't know. Here, call Daryl. I said, email Daryl. I said, that ain't going to do no good because he doesn't email you back. So
actually, I received 1 email back from Daryl.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have 2. When I say email you back, when you email somebody, but it takes 3 weeks for somebody to answer.
Yeah, that's not
answering you back.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then, of course, they told me Tuesday that they would have me an answer within 24 to 48 hours. And here we are Thursday. Still no word from Daryl. They were supposed to contact him directly, but like I told them, I said, I have his email.
Hey, do you want our area's CBCS guy's telephone number?
Is that the guy from the Florence comic shop?
No. Our representative for our area of the country. Believe it or not, I had a big argument with them, and it was Rafiki's fault, by the way, because they don't know what the crap they're talking about.
Sure.
And I actually got the lady who was emailing me in customer service in Dallas to call me, and she's the one that gave me this number. So you want it?
Yeah.
And I'll do it on air because it's the CBCS number, so it shouldn't be something that is hush hush. It's a 972 area code 448-9119.
Yep. Because Daryl still has not called me back and no answer. Dallas Fan Expo was in September, so 2 months ago. I still don't even have confirmation that they've received anything or they're shipping this out or anything. And then my books.
It's missing on their site, by the way. You know how they have the estimated turnaround times?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't list a reholder in that. So there's no way to know how long that's supposed to take.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed they've changed their site. Not only are things taking longer now, but when you go to pricing, you know how it used to say currently it's 2 to 3 weeks, and they just never changed it? Well, now they've deleted that, so there is no time on here, which is good. You don't want to mislead people.
Right.
And it has you a link to the turnaround time, which is the exact page I was on. And they only list the grading tiers and the fast pass. So there's no way to know how long that's supposed to take to reholder. So
yeah, and so some of the frustrations coming from their own lack of communication, right? Because if they would instead communicate all that stuff, hey, all that information's on our website. Well, no, it's not. Or have somebody that can answer simple questions about turnaround times via phone, via understandable English, that type of thing.
yeah, they really need to have some American customer service. Even if we get all the same answers, the fact that it'll be clear and they speak American, that would help so much.
What's up, Michael? How are you? DV says DGC or bust. Hey, appreciate you, Thomas Z, jumping in the chat. Appreciate you, good sir.
But when I did my video, my last update video, it was like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The modern tier was 24 weeks, and the modern pressing was 24 weeks. It's changed now to 25 weeks for modern, but look at the pressing. It has changed from 24 to 32 weeks.
Yeah.
That's getting insane. I think everyone went to CBCS, and CBCS is having trouble. Like every company is hiring people, and they're to the point now where they're about as bad as CGC, and we're getting things like that.
Yeah, and the deal is, I think a lot of people share that same sentiment, Bub. And until more people, I sent this. Originally, I sent this package to CBCS or to my presser back in May the 24th. And it took him from getting it after I mailed it on May the 24th for them to get it to August. So he was that backed up. Then on top of that, you got the them being backed up.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky in that sense. Is I got a new presser. I use the same one Discovery Bay does, and he's able to get stuff out pretty quick, which is great. Even if it took as long as yours that you mentioned did, that's great because it's either that or 32 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to the point now where if you can't buy slabbed and you're going to buy raw and you want to get it graded, you're going to have to really take a close look at the book and figure out what the grade's approximately going to be and how much money did you put into it, how much money is grading. Don't forget the shipping cost. Don't forget the return shipping cost. And you're going to have to just make sure what tier is worth it for me on the money. And, okay, if it's one of those tiers that takes for freaking ever, is it okay for me to wait?
Yeah. Quick turnarounds, quick flips and stuff like that are probably a thing of the past at this point, which might be a good thing.
It depends on value. If something shoots up to like $300 in value, CBCS 2-day modern, man, even at $45 for a paid member, if you bought it for $5 off the rack and it's worth $300, that's fine for a week's turnaround.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, there's no quick flip anymore unless you're buying it graded or you're selling it raw after buying it raw and the person that sold it to you didn't know what it was.
Right. But until enough people say, yeah, screw this grading thing, we're going to go back raw, they're going to continue to be this way.
Well, it's not that they're this way so much as that we want to grade so many books.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 companies. I don't even count PGX as one. But if Tony Trombetta, EGS, if he gets that new slab and it's as good as he says it's going to be, I think he might have a chance to, put some ripples out there. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to be as big as CBCS or CGC, but I think he might be good enough to, hold his own if that slab is good, because that's the only downside to his service right now. And
right.
He says he's the only grader right now. I think he said there might be one other guy, but as long as he can scale up pretty smooth.
Yeah, I think I think he actually works another job. So this is, I mean, that's not his full-time gig, right? As he's growing it. But I'm sure that at some point, if he got busy enough, okay, well, yeah, now it makes sense for me to do this as a full-time gig. But you're right. Whether it's them, PGX, or some other alternative out there, that's really what's going to, the only, or people just going raw in large part, is the only thing that's going to relieve the pressure on these two companies to get back to normal turnaround times.
Yeah, and let's not forget, normal turnaround time is, if you take the long way, around a month.
Yeah.
4 to 5 weeks should be the max turnaround time in a perfect world. And then you have, the more expensive things that are even faster. But right now it's 25 weeks at CBCS, and I think CGC is like 27 or 28 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Yeah. So I didn't realize somebody, where is that? I was watching somebody's video, and I guess they have so many signings at CGC. I guess I missed this one, but that George Perez was doing a signing.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's largely retired, obviously not 100%.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention to them anymore. There's so dang many.
Yeah.
Half of them are people I don't even know.
But with CGC, that if you want to get a book fairly quickly, that's the way to do it. Is through the signature.
No, no, it's not anymore. I am still waiting on mine from the Roy Thomas signing.
Now didn't you get one, Elizabeth Olsen, to sign one?
Yeah, that one I got back a while ago. I already sold it.
Yeah, I thought you did.
And I did pretty dang good on it too. But let me just see here. This thing has been in grading, encapsulation, and imaging for like 2 weeks. But I sent it. Let's see. When did I send that Roy Thomas thing? I think I sent it in the end of July, early to mid-August, somewhere in there. Let's say mid-August.
Okay.
It got through being put through whatever their process and pressed. I let CCS press it because it was the best way to do it. And then it says received here 9/29. That means it was received from CCS, or that's when they received it there, and CCS is going to press it after. I have no idea. But anyway, I still haven't got it. Mid-August to now, still haven't got it. It's supposed to be 6 weeks or 8-week turnaround time, I think, for the whole shebang. I don't know if you know this, but September, October, 8 weeks right there.
Yep. And Thomas Z, exactly. There's a lot of memes I've seen over the course of time, where the CEO's in the boardroom and he says, "What can we do to make the turnaround times better?" And they're like, the guy, have more signings. And then the other person says, "Shut down until we get everything caught up." And then they throw him out the window. So yeah, that's about it.
And man, I'm really wanting this thing back because it's Roy Thomas,
mm-hmm.
and it's Marvel Premiere 15.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so it ain't no nothing book.
Yeah, I mean that's the same one I got signed by when I did mine last year.
So yeah, we're just in a bind, waiting, I guess. And my buddy sent some books recently to Gamma, our presser, and then he's going to send them to CBCS for us. And his he's having to do at a different turnaround time because of their value. It's FF 49 and Iron Fist 14.
Okay.
So he's doing one, I think he's doing it quick stream, which looks as though it's faster now than what it was. And then the Iron Fist 14 is actually 77. So that counts as a 2-day modern. You know, so he's sending that one 2-day modern.
Huh.
I think so. This is making me want to do some research here and look at my previous video where I bring this up on screen, you know, the turnaround times, and compare, because they've changed it around. I think some things have gotten faster, some things have gotten slower, and they've changed their website ever so slightly.
Well, if they're doing faster turnarounds on moderns, whatever system.
Were we talking CGC? I was talking CBC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. So, I was talking about CGC.
Okay.
They're doing faster. You know, one, I question the legitimacy of the grades, because then, you know, why haven't you tried this process prior to that? And then when you're hiring all these new people start making mistakes because, you know, they're like, hey, come on, hop, chop, we got to get going here. They make mistakes. So then that's why you have labels turned around and grades that people know are not 9/8 just because they want them to grade it on it, you know. And, you know, then if you start doubting the grades altogether, do people start paying the same amount for the books?
Aha. Okay. I found this on the YouTube. I'm looking at my previous video. So remember this, okay? We got modern and expanded are at 22 weeks. 2-day moderns 4 to 5. Consumer is 22 weeks. And quick stream is 12 weeks. And then we go from there to CBC and look at the turnaround times. And we got modern, expanded, and consumer. They were 22 weeks. They're now 25. 2-day modern, it was 4 to 5 weeks. Now it's 3. And what was quick stream? Okay, I'm going to bring it back up. Quick stream was 12 weeks. And now quick stream is 4 weeks. So that's actually overall. They seem to be getting a little faster on their expedited services, but their 3 main ones, consumer, expanded, and modern, they've gotten just a few weeks slower.
Yeah. And so, and I understand it's kind of persnickety because who knows when the end of this is going to be, or not so much the end, maybe the cooling off period, if you will, where people are not submitting as many comics as what they previously done, because then a business has the bad thing about having to lay people off if the business ain't there to have.
Or how long before they find, train, and employ enough people to get it under control.
Yeah. Of course, the government's not helping none with that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think the paper shortage, well, it's actually an everything shortage, but the paper shortage that affects us in the physical books, I think might be a blessing in disguise because people can't send in what they aren't getting.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. So
yeah, but man, my buddy's gonna be real happy. That quick stream is now 4 weeks, and the 2-day modern is I think 3 weeks. So he might actually get them back at the same. So he will get them back at the same time, and he won't have to wait as long as he thought. That's great.
Yeah, they give me 7 figures. Yeah, yeah. There you go, Thomas.
Hey, they don't have to give me 7 figures. they have to move to where it's a 30-minute drive or less. Well, okay, I'll give them 45-minute drive, and just pay me like $30,000 a year. I'll grade you some books, man.
And, which obviously they have some other quality control things that they have to think about. But
yeah, by the way, that thing you were talking about that they sent out, hey, all clear, it made no mention on the IG or post or anything about all those other issues. You had to go in and I think read the email or read on their website where they say, yeah, and we're working on that. And that's basically all they said is we're working on that.
Yeah. But if they had like a mini CGC as an example, but I don't know if that would help anything. Meaning, and the main reason to do that would be that if where they're at is such a tight job market that they're not able to hire people at the level they need to, they might need another job market. So
I would like to know what their qualifications, what do you need to qualify? Because as long as you have a respect and, and enjoyment of the books, that's really all you need as long because you can be trained to grade and you get better the more you do it.
Right.
I mean, we know they're offering plenty of money because they're doing what, $2,000 was the sign-on bonus at CGC.
Yeah, they're doing the sign-on bonuses, which a lot of companies are now. But Thomas mentioned, about not being able to collect anymore. Is that a rule with CGC now, or was that something that CBCS?
No, you can still collect. You just can't sell slabs or something like that.
Yeah, you can't grade your own stuff or something.
It's something like that, which I don't understand what the big deal is. I mean, about getting your own stuff graded. I mean, you can't grade your own copy. Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand that, but you can get your stuff graded.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can still collect. It's just the something about the selling or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have an inside track, I guess is what their deal is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, aside from your auction, what else you got going on over on your channel?
Well, I just found out looking at these turnaround times, I'll be having a turnaround time update video. I don't want to do it today. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But yeah, whoo! Good Lord.
Well, so I've got a video dropping tomorrow, Walmart packs. I know that surprises a lot of people. And then also on Sunday, I'll have another one. Saturday, I'll have the auction at 1 p.m. Central Time, like normal. And then next week, I'm off. I might go randomly live on IG because I'm going to be hitting up some comic shops here and there. But I'm going to be taking a work the first part of the week / family vacation at the end of the week, and make my way up to Nashville to pick up those 40-something mystery boxes from Foo. But tonight, we'll be on Mr. Comics 89. That is if you're watching this live or on Thursday, November the 18th. I'll be on Mr. Comics 89's channel arguing that Shazam cannot beat the Juggernaut. And so if you want to vote for the Juggernaut.
Brother, but Shazam's going to beat you.
No. And I'm not going to show my ace up my sleeve or anything like that until you get there tonight. Shazam's not going to win. So,
well, unless you do go the route of where the Juggernaut took on the full power of Sidorak. Now that.
Yeah.
But I forgot to mention the same Sunday that I'm doing my auction claim sale. Mm-hmm. Later that night, my channel, Battle Royale D&D. You should come watch it if you want to see some guys battle for the victory.
So, Thomas Z dropping the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Good sir for making it rain in the right direction. Bubs, I used to speak good of you. So last time I was arguing Sinestro versus Hal Jordan, and I sent it out to several group chats. Hey, vote Sinestro, yada yada. And I know I would go back to the thing, and you could see what the votes were. I'm like, I think I'm shooting myself in the foot. I think some people are voting for the wrong person. So, I have not done that this time. I have peeked at the results. As of right now, Shazam is winning. But hey, we'll see where it goes. See where it goes. I do appreciate everybody for hanging out with us today, whether on YouTube or Twitch. Be sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, or the applicable sign of appreciation on your streaming service of choice. I do want to shout out again the YouTube channel and Patreon members, people that are supporting the channel through that monthly membership. If you're interested in what the benefits are to being a monthly member, then the links are in the description below. Not the least of which are the giveaways this month: 252 ASM 85 white pager, which is the tied for the first appearance of the black suit Spider-Man. And again, the links are in the description below if you're interested in joining the channel there. And then also bcwsupplies.com. Use the coupon code SCG to save yourself 10% on your order at checkout. And yeah, that's all we got. So I guess we're fixing to get out of here. See you.